Thank you, Phil. Continuing a little bit with Phil's theme, I would point out that 40 years ago, anti-war protesters in the city had to demonstrate outside the Democratic National Convention and received a less than warm welcome in doing so. Now the peace movement is inside the convention, at this convention of the Green Party. The peace movement has its own political party, and it surely needs one. Today, the defenders of civil rights and civil liberties have their own political party, and they surely need one. Today, advocates for labor and publicly funded single-payer health care, universal health care system, have their own political party, and they surely need one. Today, advocates for a sane environmental and affordable energy policy have their own political party, and they surely need one. And of course, here in Illinois, advocates for a fiscally responsible, clean, and actually even functional government have their own political party, and they surely need one here in Illinois. In every one of these critical areas and others I could name, our society is going to hell in a handbasket, and the Democratic and Republican parties are basically very busy debating how best to decorate the handbasket. That's the situation we have here today. Fortunately, in 2006, as Phil mentioned, a sizable over 10% of Illinois voters began to realize that the Green Party was speaking to their needs and voted Green, a harbinger of things to come. And today in Illinois, for those of you who follow Illinois politics, I think it's safe to say that there are probably many more Illinois voters who probably wish they had. So in order to reinforce that message, I'm taking this opportunity today to introduce on behalf of the Whitney for Governor campaign, which never disbanded, a little mini campaign we have between elections. We're going to be selling this bumper sticker, "Don't blame me, I voted Whitney for governor." We definitely need that here in Illinois. For those of you who don't know, we have a government that is way over, once again, not even meeting its deadline for budget. And what it illustrates is here we have a state where the Democratic Party is in complete control of both houses of the legislature and the governorship, and they can't function. And we're not making any progress toward addressing the problems that we face as a society. Fortunately, as a result of the work, and it certainly wasn't me, it was the hard work of the Illinois Green Party, we are now in a much better position. We are running candidates. I'm very excited about what's going on in 2008. We're running some very good congressional candidates for state representative, who you'll all get a chance to meet during the course of the weekend, and people running for local offices as well. Excellent caliber. At a minimum, we're going to be running credible, competitive races, and I dare say we'll be pulling off some surprises in 2008. I would use the term stranglehold instead of foothold when we're talking about democratic control of the political system here.
I think it's also worth noting that the Democrats and Republicans have a lot more resources on hand. You talked about the Green Party's fundraising efforts. We don't take money from corporate campaign contributors at all.
When you're asking what the party stance is, of course, we are going to be adopting a national platform, which that will take place Saturday morning, and I think you will see from that we're taking a comprehensive approach. And I think it's fair to say that Greens in Illinois and throughout the United States are basically on the same page on that there is no one magic bullet. I think there's a tendency to look for that, whether it's the hydrogen car or nuclear power or some one thing that's going to save us. And I think the reality is more complex. What we need to be doing are a lot of different things. We need to be developing sustainable transportation. We need to be pushing mass transit, which is more energy efficient and does not involve releasing as much greenhouse gases per passenger mile. We need to be looking at the electric car. We need smarter urban planning so that we're not wasting as much fuel getting from place to place. We need to be doing things with how we generate most of our energy now, coal, and switch to sustainable sources like wind and solar and geothermal, green building codes. There's so many things. We need to be doing it all. And what that really speaks to, I think, is the need to have a commitment along the scale of something like the Marshall Plan or World War II. We need to be having like a wartime footing and mobilize society in that dramatic a fashion to achieve the kind of goals we need to achieve to bring greenhouse gas emissions down dramatically in a relatively short period of time. That's what we need to be doing, and that's why political change is so essential, because you will not get that from the two corporate-sponsored parties. They have a vested interest in going slow on that, particularly the interests of big oil and big auto. That's why what we in the Green Party are doing is so important, not because we have so much greater ideas than anyone else, but because we have the political will and the political program and the political principles to put those ideas into action. That's the difference.